What the fuck, bro? Holy shit! Holy shit!
If you know about Paradox of Hope, you know about Convergence. Convergence has been long awaited release from the same person, Nick. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And yes, I said Nick as in one person that was working on Paradox of Hope. But that was shut down back in August of 2023. I won't go into details here, but I recommend you watch Virtual Insider's video and his discussion on that. He did a phenomenal job on it, a much better job than what I could ever do. So I'll just put the link down in the description if you guys want to check that out. But today we're going to talk about Nick's, I hope I'm saying that right, his new game, Convergent, or CONVRGENCE. Get it? Like VR. Stupid little joke. Like, for me, I'm the only person laughing here. I'm not even a dad, for fuck's sakes. Before I get into the game, it's important to say that I was given early access to the game to play ahead of the launch. So I want to thank him very much to send that code over. It's a first for the channel, actually. So it's a big deal for me. But anyway, with all that bullshit out of the way, let's get into it and talk about what I love and what I don't love about Convergence. I'm going to take this directly from the Steam page of the game. Player VR shooter with survival and horror elements. Explore the, just a sec here, CONVRGENCE exclusion zone. Scavenge for loot, fight bandits, and hunt for mysterious artifacts. And that right there really does sum up what the game is all about. This is an early access extraction shooter title made by one guy. One fucking guy. As you can tell from the footage, if you have played Into the Radius at all, this will feel very familiar to you. You know, from the setting, the looks, the sounds, the whole 9 yards. Like, it's gonna feel familiar. I'm really okay with that, as the Russian theme mixed with the Chernobyl disaster have made for some amazing games. The area, the chatter you hear from the scavengers, or the hunters that they're called in the game.
Cultists attack the third hunter group at the extraction point in the north. Prepare for an immediate counterattack.
To the eerie sounds and the anomalies around you, it's really cool stuff. But if you're tired of that setting, well, there's not really anything new here, so it's not going to really change your mind. But what do you really do in this game? Does it play like Into the Radius? From my opinion, no, like, not at all. It's more of the look of Into the Radius than anything, but it plays like Ghost of Tabor. It's like a Ghost of Tabor mixed with Into the Radius. In the game, you load up your backpack with food, water, medicine, ammo, and anything else you need, along with guns, of course, and you go out into 4 different areas. You loot, you kill, you survive, you come back to base, sell what you want to sell, you know, some important stuff, like junk, guns, whatever. You get better gear, you get better weapons, and you repeat. And that's the loop and the hook of the game. Loot, survive, eat, hydrate, go back out for more equipment to take on different arenas, because let me tell you, you're gonna need it.
This is bullshit!
And oh yeah, you do have a little buddy with you that joins you in these raids. It does make a huge difference when taking on enemies or just having someone around you for comfort when going out into these areas and doing these raids. Our little buddy here can be commanded by using different types of whistles by putting your controller up to your mouth and hitting the trigger and whistling. You can get him to attack or stay put, or, you know, that's actually pretty much it. But it is pretty cool that you're able to do that. And another thing, he'll dig up random items for you around the ground and stuff, which can help you if you need something a little more high valuable. He'll usually find, you know, sugar and stuff like that. But if you didn't like Into the Radius, if you didn't like Ghost of Tabor, if you didn't like The Walking Dead because of the survival aspect of it, you know, going out scavenging, coming back, going out scavenging, this game isn't really going to change that for you. The setting might change, might be more akin to that, but if you didn't like those types of games, I don't think it's going to change what you do here. But like I said, this is made by one guy, and it's absolutely amazing what he's been able to achieve here, just from the look of the game, the sound of the game, the dialogue, which I'm really surprised about, but just there's a lot of talking here, more than I ever thought. Down to the weapon sounds, to the guns, to the crows in the sky. Again, it's very impressive. much like Into the Radius, again, I'm going to be using that a lot. The way you reload your guns, the way you put ammo in the mags, the way you have the cartridges for ammo, like the boxes of ammo, all this stuff is going to feel and look really, really familiar, right down to clean your gun. But this time all you have is a toothbrush. You don't have like a stick with toilet paper at the end, or you don't have WD-40 spray. Not sure if that's coming. Again, this is all early access. I'm sure there's a huge vision he has for what the game's supposed to look like. But one thing it is missing, hope that gets introduced here, is some descriptions. You'll be going around picking up items where the game is about looting. You don't know what you're picking up sometimes, and you learn what you're picking up as you go, but at the start you really have no fucking idea what you're picking up. And two, if your gun is degrading, you don't really know. The only way you can tell is if you put it on the rack and clean it with the brush, and you'll see the dirt fly. You just do that after every mission. You always have a toothbrush. It's not really a huge factor right now in the game, but I'm sure it will be at some point. But the game does have a very addictive loop. You wanting to go into these different areas, explore. You get creeped out by these dank, dark caves, and if you go down there unprepared, you're gonna absolutely fucking pay for it. Even prepared, you're gonna pay for it.
And it made me feel like a piece of shit!
But the loop is this mix of fun, early access bugs, and frustration from the type of game it is. But it's an addictive type of frustration. Again, if you're not liking those extraction and survival mechanics, you're not gonna like it here. But as much as I do love the game and love what's on offer here, and the way it looks and it sounds, everything isn't all sunshine and lollipops.
What's wrong with you, bro? What the heck? You tripping, bro? You tripping?
With it being an early access title, I'm not gonna come across with these points as criticisms, but just objective points to help the development of the game, if that makes sense. My intent here really is for constructive criticism to get the game where it needs to be eventually, you know. I'm sure in 3 months' time this game is going to be completely different for the most part from where it is right now in terms of the fixes that will be introduced. When you do start up the game, you get a message from Nick. Again, man, I hope I'm saying that right. He is the solo dev, and to get you to join the Discord to help him get the game into a much better state and help find little bugs that he might have not seen where it's in everybody's hands now. But during my time with the game, I have experienced quite a few bugs, from ammo disappearing when I reload my revolver, our dog friend here getting stuck in place, not being able to be used. No matter how many times I would whistle or hold a whistle, pet him, anything, he would just be locked into place, and sometimes he would just move in place. Items fully disappearing from the loot box back at base once dying, along with weapons disappearing upon death, even with insurance. Basically, insurance is this mechanic in the game where you buy it and you die, and when you come back, you still have all your gear. You just don't have what's in the backpack. But every time I bought insurance, I would lose my guns. I wouldn't have them back. I would just have the revolver. And that even happened when I didn't have insurance, so I'm not sure the insurance is working as intended. And this only happened once, but you have a giant casket like you do in Walking Dead, where you can just throw items in and you keep them there. I died, and I lost absolutely everything. That was quite, I'll say, frustrating, because I had a lot of gear. I was amping up to go further into the map, and, well, I had to kind of like start from scratch again. And then also, too, about the insurance, it goes up each time that you purchase it. So right now, there's not really a point I see to purchasing it, unless I'm just understanding it wrong. But I don't think it's a mechanic that quite works right now at launch. Other things with our doggo friend, there'll be an odd glitch where, again, he'll get stuck in a sound cue. He'll whimper when there's an enemy nearby. And there was a moment where he would whimper, but he whimpered the entire match when I cleared all the enemies.
It's like a dance.
I only had one hard crash during the game where I attached a flashlight to one of the assault weapons I purchased. I hit one of the buttons to bring up the menu, as I was trying to turn off the flashlight. I hit the resume button and then my game crashed. I'm not sure if I did something or what happened there, but I have to note it here. And on top of that, I could address a few other things, but they were more quality of life improvements and not necessarily game-breaking issues. You know, like just small things with the backpack, how it works. Sometimes when you place items in the backpack, just how it feels. The vest on your person, how that's placed. It's not game-breaking, it just doesn't quite feel right. Some weird artifacting, some pop-in, sometimes the sound, just like little tiny things. But that's all I really wanted to cover on that aspect. I'll do another video on, or something along the lines of, 10 things I'd like to see change in the game, like the backpack or the non-human enemies absolutely tearing my ass cheeks up because of how fucking quick they move.
Yeah, that's it for me. Holy shit.
Big question though, is it worth your time and your money? Because money don't go as far anymore.
He's right, you know.
If you're not into Ghost of Tabor, if you're not into the Radius, if you're not into The Walking Dead, this game ain't gonna do it for you. It's kind of like those, and you won't find something different here to kind of sway you in that direction, I don't think. But those of you that love either or all three of those games, or you love extraction shooters, yeah, I think this is worth your time. But you gotta go in remembering early access and made by one dude. I can't stress that enough. And it helps that the asking price is $19.99. I believe that's USD. We won't know until the game gets released. Hopefully this video's out before the game's released, but we'll see. And I also think he's having a 15% discount at launch, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm SodaMoose, and I'll see you again in about 4 months. I'm out. It won't really be 4 months, I promise. I just, like, this YouTube thing, I'm telling you, it's just crazy.
He's right, you know.